First, we're going to talk about composting and why people don't do it. Next, we're going to talk about how our project solves those problems. And finally, we're going to talk about how we shared our ideas.
Good morning. We are the Robotian News. Composting is a great way to reduce trash to the landfill. Anthony, why don't you tell us a little bit more? We recently went to S&H Recycling Center, and we saw big bulldozers shoveling up one pile to another, and we also saw a filter separating it by size. Back to you, Ethan. Thanks, Anthony. Now we know how the industrial composting for green waste works. Well, I learned approximately 2/3 of our household waste can actually be composted. Why don't people do it? Back to you, Anthony. Composting helps minimize the trash that goes into the landfill. It also helps keep chemical fertilizers out in gardens. Now we interview the Jackson family, who's trying to help more families do composting. So, what inspired you to build a composter?
So I noticed a lot of fruits and vegetables inside of my trash, so I decided to ask my dad how to reduce trash.
And one way to reduce trash is to compost. Composting is very simple. The conditions are specific, but once you get it right, it's really easy. You have to make sure that to balance the greens, which are food scraps, and the browns, which are yard waste. You have to make sure that there's enough air and water, enough temperature, some mixing for once or twice per week, and in 3 to 6 months, boom, you have soil. Even though it's easy, not a lot of people do it. Why not?
So we went around in the neighborhood and we found out why people don't do home composting. Some simply don't know how to get started. Others are unwilling to try home composting, so they just trash everything. Some people who do home composting say it's hard to mix.
So what was your solution?
Knowing that a lot of people don't compost for those reasons really got us thinking. Our solution was to create a new design. Our composter rotates once a day and uses a color sensor to rotate back and forth. We tested it out using a bottle and Lego parts.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Not only that, but we also went to see a professor at PCC. What we found out there was amazing. We figured out that she liked the prototype and she thought it was very useful. She told us ways to improve it and good advice. She told us that if you put a layer of bark chips or tissue paper over the compost, it could prevent most of the smell. Also, we found out a better way to mix the compost and get compost tea, which is a valuable type of liquid that comes out of your compost. Did you share your idea yet?
Yes, we went to Odyssey to share ideas. Most people came because they were interested to learn more about composting. A lot of people came to visit.
That's a new invention in town. Back to you, Ethan. Thanks, Anthony. Wow, that design is great. It's a closed bin, it's easy to use, and it stirs your compost for you. The invention can make home composting faster and easier. Ethan with the Robotian News, signing off. Question?
Thank you. That's a really good presentation. Thank you. I had a great time with that presentation. So besides Ongzi and the professor at PCC, who else did you share your skip outside your team?
I think that's all we're
Okay, so did you make some changes after you talked with the professor at PCC, right?
Yes.
We made the project.
Okay. And who helped you with that model that looks pretty interesting? Who helped you design that?
Darian's dad taught us how to drill holes in it. And
And did the team do anything on that?
yes, we made it. We made it with Legos.
Mm-hmm.
And we used a
It's a demonstration.
It's a model for composting.
So what kind of existing solutions are out there for composting, and how is yours better?
So there are composts that you can rotate, but you have to use your hands to move it.
like
or
one of these,
So
like this one.
as I was saying, ours has a motor, so if you don't have to mix it, the compost mixes itself. Like the motor, you don't have to mix it yourself.
Thank you.
So how much does
does it cost to make your automated?
$150 to $200.
Yeah.
But like one of these is like 120.
Yeah. Because, and this is just a model, like I said.
So how do you come up with the cost of $120?
We searched online how much motors cost and how much rotating composters cost. So then we added those two.
And then added a bit more.
Do you talk to the landscaping company where they sell borders and stuff like that? How to do the compost set at the public? Do they use that model? Do you talk to them about it? Get some idea how they did it?
Yeah.
What method do they use there to do compost?
They used like
They had like, well, they didn't really use anything. They had more like this. Yeah.
Like big
Fine.
machines. And
Yeah, like big
not
machines.
really like models.
Yeah, and they had like bulldozers mixing the dirt.
And they have like a special composting thing that's like huge. And it cleans out the compost, but theirs is like broken, so.
So maybe next time you can share your stick with them to see if you can help them it's better their
Yeah.
job, so see if they can use your stick that help the environment.
Yeah.
Good idea. That's the next step I would suggest.
Yeah, so what challenges did you guys face when you were putting together your prototype?
So it usually wouldn't stay in place. So at one part we super glued everything down, and then we also drilled these down so that this would stay in place because it was on wood.
And in the beginning, when we didn't even come up with how to like do our project on compost, we had multiple ideas and we tried to vote for which one we thought was better.
2 minutes.
So that took a while.
2 more minutes.
So how do you come up with this topic for your project? Why you decided that?
Because not much people compost around the
We
world.
want to like make people like do it more often, stop trashing stuff. Because like a lot of stuff in the landfill is like that could be compost.
2/3 of it is composable. It's
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I have one final question for you guys. And what was the most surprising thing you learned by researching this compost?
Well, before I knew compost, I thought composting took like 2 weeks, but it actually takes like 3 to 6 months. So yeah, that was surprising.
And if you put it in the sun, it breaks it down faster.
How much
Yeah.
faster? How much sooner does it give you?
We didn't think that.
Because we went around our neighborhood and we did surveys, and they just said if you put it in the sun, it breaks.
Yeah, they had some.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for sharing this with us. This is amazing. Great job.
Good job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys, you want to grab your things and head out? We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good job. Parents, you did well too. They did well, didn't they?